Yeah, good afternoon, boys. So today we will study about the double circulation. Okay, I'm sharing my presentation. Okay, now what is the meaning of the double circulation? That the blood is passing twice through the heart to supply once to the body. So that's the meaning of double circulation. That the blood passes twice through the heart to supply once to the body. So that's the definition of double circulation. Now what is the meaning of that? Actually, when the blood comes to the heart, what kind of blood comes? Deoxygenated blood comes from the body parts. From the body part, deoxygenated blood comes. Deoxygenated blood. And that deoxygenated blood goes to lungs for oxygenation. Goes to lungs for
Comes back
oxygenation.
to the it comes back to the heart.
Yeah,
Oxygen.
deoxygenation. Then in the lungs, oxygenation happens and that oxygenated blood goes back to heart.
And from heart the aorta
And
passes.
from that oxygenated blood goes to the body. Okay. So
Yes,
how many times? Now look at the picture and tell me how
Two
many
times.
times the
Double
blood is coming to the heart?
Two times.
Two times.
Two
So that
times.
is the meaning of the double circulation, that the blood is passing through the heart twice to supply once to the body. So heart, how many times the blood is coming? First deoxygenated blood is coming and later on the oxygenated blood is coming. So two times the blood is coming to the heart. But how many times it is going to the body? Just one time.
One
One
time.
time oxygenated blood is going. So that is the meaning of double circulation, that the blood is passing twice through the heart to supply once to the body. Now double circulation can be divided into two parts. So from the heart to lungs, this is the one circulation. From the heart to lungs, deoxygenated blood is going and the lungs oxygenation is happening, and after that oxygenated blood is coming back to the heart. So this process is called pulmonary
Pulmonary
circulation.
circulation.
Okay, and the second step is what? That the heart has received from the body, heart is receiving deoxygenated blood and heart is giving the oxygenated blood to the body. So this is another circulation and this is called systemic circulation. Okay, systemic circulation. Now it is very easy to remember what is the meaning of pulmonary. What is the meaning of pulmonary?
Lungs. Lungs.
Lungs. Pulmonary means lungs, means the heart to lungs and lungs to heart. So heart to lungs, what kind of blood goes? Heart to lung, deoxygenated.
Heart
From
and
lungs
gas.
to heart, oxygenated. Okay. Now systemic word you have to remember from the organ system. Okay, the blood which is related to the organ systems. Okay. From the heart, blood is going to the organ system. From the system, it is coming back to the heart. So that is systemic circulation. Now let us discuss about the blood vessel which is involved in the pulmonary circulation. From heart to lungs, which blood
Pulmonary
vessel?
artery and pulmonary veins.
Pulmonary
From
artery.
heart to lungs,
Pulmonary
pulmonary
artery.
artery, because pulmonary
Artery.
is the word related to lung. Artery means blood vessel which is moving out of the heart
Out of the body. Out of
and
the heart.
out of the heart. From
Heart.
the lungs to heart, how it is
Pulmonary
coming? It will be
veins.
coming by pulmonary veins.
Pulmonary
So
veins.
pulmonary means lungs, veins means the blood vessel which is bringing the blood to the heart. Now body to heart, that
Vena cava.
deoxygenated blood is coming by a vein, and name of
Vein.
that vein is vena
Vena
cava.
cava.
Vena.
Superior, inferior vena cava. From heart to body, how the blood is going? By
Aorta. Aorta.
Until
aorta.
lungs. Aorta.
Okay. So this is the pulmonary and systemic circulation. Pulmonary and systemic circulation. Now come to this picture. This picture is called the picture of double circulation. Okay, whenever this picture you will see, so it is not the picture of heart, it is the picture of double circulation. Okay, so if the question, now here look at the how to label this picture. You have to make a rough diagram of this. This is actually flow chart. If you are not marking it properly, no problem. But here the labeling should be correct. First, now suppose picture is given, you have to label the parts. So this is the heart, and here you will write body organs. Body organs or cell, anything you can write. Here you can write lungs. Okay, so 3 labeling is done. Now, in between these 3 organs, now we have to supply the blood. So we will name the blood vessel. So heart is receiving deoxygenated blood by a blood vessel called vena cava. Actually 2 vena cava, but here it is represented just by 1. It is a graphical representation. Then from the lung, that the deoxygenated blood is going to the from the heart to the lungs by pulmonary artery. From the lungs, that oxygenated blood is coming to the heart by pulmonary veins. And from the heart, that oxygenated blood is going to all parts of the body through aorta. And our labeling is done. Now, how this question is coming in the exam? Label any 4 parts of the given diagram. So this is the this came in one of the CBSE exam. Label any 4 parts in the given diagram. So this diagram is given. You have to label 4 parts. So you can label easily. First, you will start from heart. Here you will write lungs. Here you will write organ, cells, anything you can write, tissue, organ, anything you can write.
That's
okay. All right. Now what we are going to do, you are going to write all the names of the blood vessels associated with the heart. Heart is receiving deoxygenated blood by vena cava. From the heart, deoxygenated blood is going to the lungs by pulmonary veins. From the lungs, oxygenated blood, pulmonary arteries. From the lungs, that the oxygenated blood is coming to the heart by pulmonary veins. And from the heart, that oxygenated blood is going to the body by aorta. And labeling is done. Okay. Label any 4 part, we have done 7 labeling. Write about 2 functions represented in this diagram. Now, can you tell me what are the 2 functions represented?
Vena cava carries the deoxygenated blood from the entire body to the heart. The pulmonary artery then pumps this deoxygenated blood.
Write this. Can we write instead of those statement? Can we write in this picture pulmonary and systemic circulation is represented?
Yes, ma'am.
And can we explain that pulmonary and systemic circulation?
Yes.
So what we will do that here we will write the definition of double circulation. That blood passes twice through the body to supply once. Blood passes twice through the heart to supply once to the body. And then pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation definition and blood vessels associated with this. And so our 5 marks are ready. Okay, so this is the picture not of heart, this is the picture of double circulation. Okay, double circulation. So when this picture will come, so double circulation. So this is also one of the picture which you need to draw. Okay, good diagram is not needed, only diagram which the examiner can understand, that much is needed. Now,
so you can just draw this on that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to present one video.
Okay.
Of double circulation.
Circulation in man. Human heart has double circulation, which means that blood passes through the heart 2 times to supply once to the whole body. It involves 2 circulations. They are systemic circulation, pulmonary circulation. Systemic circulation. It is the major circulation in the body. The aorta divides into arteries, arterioles, and finally to capillaries, and therefore supplies oxygenated blood to various body parts. From there, deoxygenated blood is collected by venules which join to form veins, and finally vena cava, and pour blood back into the heart. Pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation is related with lungs. It starts from the entry of blood into the pulmonary artery from the right ventricle. It later divides into 2 and enters respective lungs. In the lungs, blood is oxygenated and brought back to the heart through pulmonary veins.
Okay, now we will discuss about that the heart of different vertebrate. Now, can you tell me what is the meaning of vertebrate?
Backbone, the animals with the backbone.
The animals having backbone, animals having vertebral column. Okay, so animals having vertebral column. So can you tell me the name of the animal which has backbone, vertebral column?
Mammals, birds. Birds
You
have.
know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write on the hierarchical order. Okay, so first of all, I will write the name of the vertebrate which is lowest vertebrate, fish. Then what can I write?
Amphibians and reptiles.
Amphibians. Amphibians. Okay, amphibians, then reptiles.
Then
Reptiles.
mammals.
No, I will write
And birds.
birds.
Birds,
Yeah.
birds,
Birds.
yeah.
Birds. Okay, we are maintaining the seniority hierarchy.
Mammals.
Then mammals.
Okay, so fish, amphibian, reptile, birds, and mammal, these are the name of vertebrate because they all have vertebral column. Correct. So here, mm, can you tell me which animal is more advanced?
And the mammal.
Mammals.
Mammals. So
Mammal.
definitely if you see that the heart or any organ system of mammals, it will be more advanced. And if you see the organ system of fish, it will be more inferior. But this is showing the hierarchy which shows that amphibian has evolved from fish, reptile has evolved from amphibian, and birds and mammals, they have evolved from reptiles. So this is our evolutionary history. So let's come to bird and mammal. So now tell me how many chambers are there in your heart? You are a mammal.
Four chambers, two
You
auricles and
have four chambers. How many auricles?
two.
Two auricles and two ventricles. And you know that in between the auricle and ventricle,
Orbits.
left and right
Septum
side,
nerve.
there is a total septum. So which divides the left and the right side, or you can say which divides the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. So here is a picture of birds and mammals are. Birds and mammals are. So here you just look here the septum. Proper septum is there from top to bottom which divides the left and right side of the heart, or you can say the oxygenated and deoxygenated part of the heart. Now this is the second heart and this is the heart of amphibians and reptile. You know what? For amphibians heart, I say it has three chambers. Frog has three chambered heart and reptile has 3.5
But
chamber.
crocodile has four chambers.
Ha, crocodile. Okay, crocodile later. So amphibian generally have three chambered heart and reptile have 3.5 chamber heart. What does that mean? Amphibian, you know, yeah, this is the picture of reptile. This is the picture of reptile. Reptile has clear cut two auricle, but the ventricle septum is not very clear. Septum in the ventricle is not complete septum. So I say it 3.5 chamber, 3.5 chamber. Okay, so reptile, what it will do? Auricle is clear cut auricle, two auricle, but the ventricle, the septum is coming up to this much. So it means that the ventricle, that there will be mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. That's the problem with the reptile. Let's come to amphibian. Amphibian has three chambered heart, mean two auricles, two clear cut auricle. No problem in the auricle, but there is a problem in ventricle.
Only one ventricle.
Because it has one ventricle. You know that after oxygenation from the lungs also, if the blood will come, what is the point? It will mix up. It will mix up in the ventricle, oxygenated, deoxygenated, they both are mixing together. So when the blood will go to the aorta to supply to the body, it means it is not complete oxygenated blood. Little bit of deoxygenated blood is already there. So that's the problem with the amphibians and reptiles. They are not getting 100% oxygenated blood. Now to see the story of fish. Fish has just one auricle and one ventricle. Okay, one auricle and one ventricle. So two chambered heart. Now let us see that the circulation in the fish. Circulation in the fish is very weird. Fish has a heart fish. Okay, now I'm talking just about fish. So this is the fish heart. Fish heart is getting the deoxygenated blood from the body. Deoxygenated blood, carbon dioxide rich blood, deoxygenated.
It passed to the
Okay.
gills. Gills
It
often have.
passes to the gills. All right. Passes to the
oxygen
gills
directly
and
goes
then the oxygenation. Now what next? What will happen next? Guess.
directly goes to the body, ma'am. It's only a single cell.
Really? Oh my
Yes.
God, yes, that's the correct answer. That in the fish is weird that the blood is coming gills to the body directly. It means that it is not going to the heart. So
Heart.
such kind of circulation is called single circulation. Single circulation means blood is coming just once to the heart. That happens in fish. My next question, why fish heart is called venous heart? Venous heart.
Only those
From the veins.
The fish
vein.
heart is called the venous heart because it only receives blood from the veins, and pumps it for oxygenation straight to the gills. In the fish heart, blood travels through a single complete circuit once only. Now, if the red color represents oxygenated blood. Red color represents oxygenated blood and blue color represents the deoxygenated. It is just the representation. Don't think your blood is so colorful. It has red color only. It is just to make you understand deoxygenated blood. So in the fish, what kind of fish heart, what kind of blood is present?
Deoxygenated blood.
Always deoxygenated, anytime deoxygenated blood. So that's why it is represented by blue. From the body, deoxygenated blood is coming. That's why we have represented it with blue color. And from there, it is going to the gills. So that we have fish heart is the venous heart. But in our heart, 50-50 oxygenated and deoxygenated, both the blood is present. Now come to another, what is this? What is this instrument? Okay, I'm going to tell you about one instrument. This is called sphygmomanometer and that is used for measuring blood pressure. Okay, what's the name of the instrument?
Sphygmomanometer.
Sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer.
Sphygmomanometer.
Sphygmomanometer. Okay, now you know what sphygmomanometer. That's a little bit old. I have a different kind of machine, and this machine is called blood pressure monitor. So I purchased it from the company name is Omron, and I purchased it from the Amazon. So this is the blood pressure monitor. Okay, so this I monitor my blood pressure through this. So this is digital. This is you don't have to do a lot of effort. You have to put this cufflink here in the arm,
Yes, ma'am.
and you have to
tighten.
just press the switch on button and it will show the blood pressure. And I did, so this is a very simple kind of blood pressure meter which I have at home. Now I measured the blood pressure in the morning and my blood pressure was so in the blood pressure when I measured, my blood pressure shows 120 and 80. So in this monitor I got two reading, 120 and 80. So I wrote this 120 and 80 millimeter Hg. And then I googled, so this is the blood pressure of a normal person. So I am not abnormal. My blood pressure is absolutely normal. Okay, so but there are some people whose blood pressure is little more or less than this. If somebody XYZ will have this blood pressure, what you will say? It is a normal blood pressure? No, it's not normal. It is very high. We will say it high blood pressure. It is high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is also called hypertension. And this much of blood pressure is not good for the heart. So this person should visit the doctor and tell, I am having high BP. So doctor will provide him some medicine. By that his blood pressure will come down, but the hypertension people has to take this blood medicine every day. And another person is having this. So what you will say? Low BP, low blood pressure. If any person is having blood pressure less than 120 by 80, we will say it low blood pressure.
And what if it is 140/60?
Yeah, it generally doesn't have. It is always, if it will be moving, it will be both the things moves on the higher end only, higher end or the lower end. So that is just assumption that doesn't happen. If the blood pressure will be high, it will be high on the both the ends. Low blood pressure, what is the problem in the low blood pressure? It means blood is not going with the appropriate pressure to your cell. So your cell will not getting energy, it will not get the oxygen and the nutrients as per the required okay, whatever is the requirement of your cell, the cell will not get the nutrient and the oxygen. So that condition is called the low blood pressure, because the blood is flowing very slow. So he will be feeling very lethargic, okay. So when you will measure the blood pressure of that person, so doctor will say, okay, you dissolve some sugar and salt in the blood and you drink. So by that blood pressure increases. Now, here we told that what is normal blood pressure and the low and high blood pressure. So now let us understand what does it show. So this is the heart of a person and this is the ventricle. You know, heart is a pumping organ which is made up of cardiac muscle. So cardiac muscle is contracting, relaxing, contracting, relaxing, contracting, relaxing. So contraction has a name. You know, science, biology, so many technical terms are the contraction means systole.
Systolic. Yeah.
Systole. Relaxation. Heart is relaxing, not much, just few seconds. Relaxation means diastole. That's the technical term. Heart is contracting, relaxing. Heart is doing systole and diastole. Systole and diastole. So when it is contracting, at that time blood pressure is 120. When it is relaxing, it is called 80. 80. Now come to the millimeter Hg. Millimeter means this is a sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer. So this is a traditional sphygmomanometer. Now I have a digital blood pressure monitor. So earlier, you know, here there is a reading. This reading is given in millimeter. This reading is given in millimeter and there is a liquid called mercury. Mercury's formula is Hg and that mercury is actually jumping in this scale. So first of all, it will jump to 120 and then it will go to 80. So doctor with the help of the stethoscope, they just listen to that sound and they just predict that what is the blood pressure. Okay, 120, 80 is the reading in the sphygmomanometer. So now we are having the sophisticated electronic blood pressure monitor, but we maintain the same reading 120 by 80 millimeter Hg. But in my blood pressure monitor there is no mercury, there is no millimeter, but still we are using the same thing. Okay, so blood pressure is done. Now the blood clotting. Blood clotting, you must have experienced that if there is a cut or wound in our body, so after some time the blood does not flow out. In the beginning it will flow out of the cut and wound, but after some time it will not go out. So that process is called blood clotting. So blood clotting is basically, it is good for the body because it will not allow blood to flow. Otherwise the person can suffer from the scarcity of the blood. So that's a difficult situation. What happens during the blood clotting? In the blood, during the blood clotting in our body, one protein is present in the blood and the name of that protein is called fibrin. So generally that fibrin protein always remain in the form of fibrinogen. But when there is a cut or wound, blood comes in the exposure of the air. Okay, directly coming to the air. So at that time, you know, it will make a network. In this picture, if you'll say there is a blue color network, which is, if it is visible to you, I don't know. So that blue color network in this picture is the fibrin mesh, fibrin network. So in this fibrin network, the bigger cells, RBC, WBC, bigger protein molecule will get entangled. That cannot come out. So we say blood clotting. Blood clotting is brought about by the another protein. Fibrin is the network and it will be controlled by another protein called thrombin. Thrombin remains in the blood in the form of prothrombin. So prothrombin will be converted to thrombin. That will initiate fibrinogen to fibrin. Fibrin will make a network, and in that network, that all the blood cells and bigger protein between entangle. Little you know that the plasma comes out. Anyway, blood clotting is not there in a big detail in our course, but I told you. Next, another thing is there in our body. One parallel circulatory system is there, that is called lymphatic system. Now, what is the need of this lymphatic system? Most of the work in our body is done by the blood circulatory system. Blood is doing most of the transport. So, what is this lymph? So, let us see the origin of lymph. What is actually the lymph? Blood is bringing the nutrients, oxygen to the cell. These are the cells of the body. Blood capillary is bringing oxygen and nutrients to the cell, and this is blood capillary. Blood is providing the nutrients and oxygen to the cell. Cell is receiving that by osmosis diffusion, so it is coming inside. But you know, this blood capillary, when this transportation is happening, there is some leakage in this pipeline. Okay, sometimes there is a leakage in the water pipeline, there is leakage in the oil pipeline, gas pipeline. So in the blood pipeline, that is the blood vessels, also some leakage takes place, and some of the liquid comes out in between the cell. Okay, comes in between the cell, and that is coming out from the capillaries. So this fluid, this liquid is called extracellular fluid. Extracellular fluid. So this extracellular fluid is also called lymph. This is called lymph or extracellular fluid. So what is lymph? This is extracellular fluid. So what is its composition? It is almost like the blood plasma, almost. But it doesn't have RBC. The RBC will not be there because RBC cell is very big. It doesn't come out of the blood vessel. And bigger protein also will not come out. Only the some molecule which is smaller in size and plasma will come out. Now, so this is the extracellular fluid. So this extracellular fluid cannot remain in the body like that. That's a part of this extracellular fluid, is a part of the blood circulatory system. So it should go back to blood circulatory system. So it will be reaching to the blood circulatory system by another blood vessel, and the name of that blood vessel is lymphatic vessel or lymph vessel. Okay, lymphatic vessel will take that all blood, all extracellular fluid, and will give it to vena cava. Vena cava, which is present here. Vena cava, and then it will be a part of the blood circulatory system. So lymphatic system, what it is doing? It is collecting the extracellular fluid from all part of the body and giving it to the heart.
To the blood.
Giving it to the heart, we're giving it to the vena cava. So one function of lymph is excess fluid from the intercellular space goes back to the heart, goes back to the blood circulatory system. Now you just see here minutely some nodes are there, some glands are there, some okay. Yes, so these are called nodes, lymph nodes. These are called lymph nodes. So many lymph nodes are there. You know, lymph nodes are very good because they are making lymphocyte cell, and these lymphocyte cells gives us this is a lymphocyte, is a kind of white blood cell. White blood cell that is protecting your body, that is fighting against the pathogen, giving immunity. So that is the lymphocyte cell protecting your body from the germs. And okay, so this work is done. One more work of the lymph is that the transportation of digested fat. Generally, glucose, amino acid, they are the smaller molecule that is transported by the blood capillaries. But some of the fat molecule which is not absorbed from the intestine, that's the problem. Digestion is done so that that is absorbed by the lymph. Lymph can carry some of the fat molecule from the small intestine and can bring it back to the blood circulatory system. Okay, from the intestine work is over. From the intestine it should go to the blood. The blood capillary is so means it is not able to absorb it. So the lymph will absorb those fat so that it can go to the blood circulatory system. All right, so I'm going to ask you a quiz. Only artery which carries deoxygenated blood.
Pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery, that's the right answer. How many chambers does frog have? Frog is an amphibia.
3.
And 3.
Yeah,
3.
3 chambers means correct. 3 chambers means how many auricles?
2 auricles and 1 ventricle.
2 auricles and 1 ventricle. That's the right answer.
1 ventricle.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Are you-
Good morning, ma'am.
These children like, bio. Not like dry subject. It is good now. They like it.